Hey, and welcome to another episode of Rankum. The world may be ending. No one can leave the house, but once this is all over, we can remake the world, which is what we're talking about today, is the top 12 remakes. Um, I totally didn't plan any of that, or that just came out just naturally.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is rare times when it's this isn't really related to a movie that's coming out this week because there really isn't a lot coming out at all. But it's one of those ones that it's a fun topic regardless, and I get to just pick up a whole bunch of things that I had in my pool and get a chance to actually use them for a change. But here on the panel, I've got Billy Belford. Billy, how's it going?
It's going good. I'm in my secret lair, my bunker, trying to escape from the world and rank some remakes.
And also here is Hunter. Hunter, how's it going?
how's it going, guys? Yeah, with the world ending, I decided to watch a lot of virus movies today. I don't know why.
I mean, it seems to be the trend that I've seen on popping up on Letterboxd. Like everyone seems to be watching Contagion more than anything. I think that's the one everyone is going. Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot more virus movies, but everyone seems to be going to Contagion. That's the only one that I see being logged on Letterboxd.
What a prophetic movie it was, Malcolm. I mean, so prophetic.
But also here is Dan. Dan, how's it going?
Hang in there, man. I'm just glad to be back, and hopefully this one won't be as long because people are disagreeing on everything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the sports movies one wasn't really long, and like 2 hours is the length that I kind of aim for with these shows anyway. Like the longest one we had is almost 3 hours, and that's TV themes. So yeah, but the way a 4-person panel works is the person who doing the nominating for the movie, their vote doesn't count. It's going to come down to the other 3 people on there whether it makes the list. But yeah, and the way I've interpreted remakes is like anything that's a standard remake of a movie counts, obviously, but also readaptations, like stuff like just to pick up one that may not come up, like I Am Legend is based on a book, but it's also technically a remake of a movie at the same time. The only sort of thing I haven't seen is like when it comes to reinterpretation, like the Batman movies, they're not remakes, they're more just a new version of the thing because they aren't directly the same movie as the previous movie. So that's kind of where I lean towards this. So there's
changed
yeah, I mean, I realised I didn't actually mention that in the private chat. Like Hunter asked me like in a separate message, but which I didn't think about anyone would consider those remakes, to be honest. But it's one of those ones. But we're going to get this started. So Hunter, I'm going to what's your first remake you're going to throw out there?
All right, so going through my list here, I'm going to start with one that I didn't realize was a remake, but it might be one of my favorite childhood movies. I'm going The Wizard of Oz from 1939. I did not realize it was a remake until I saw it on, there was like a 1930s something version of it, and just this movie is a movie where I go back and watch it every year. It's nostalgia for me. All the magic, all the wonder, all the, just whimsical magic about this movie makes it so fun to rewatch, and that's why I'm putting it as my first nomination.
Yeah, this is one everyone forgets that is actually a remake because there was the 1925 silent movie that is out there.
Yep.
So I don't have a problem saying yes to this. I love Wizard of Oz, and there really isn't much more to say about it. Billy, what do you say about the Wizard of Oz?
It's not on my list. I mean, I I like The Wizard of Oz. It's not like it's just not my thing. Like, no, it's obviously like a great movie, like, but it's just not my thing. Also, as a remake, the fact that the other one was silent, kind of, it's almost like a completely standalone thing, like silent movies versus not silent movies. But movies are movies, so. But yeah, it's not. It's definitely. I wouldn't put it on my list because again, it's also not well known as a remake. So.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Dan, what do you say about Wizard of Oz?
Billy just said it. The Wizard of Oz of this version that Hunter's bringing up is considered like the definitive Wizard of Oz. Any versions or kind of side projects of the Wizard of Oz are just considered that. The silent version or different versions that they had before it were based on what it was based on the book. This and everything else has been based on this movie. Like this is considered the definitive movie. So people don't consider The Wizard of Oz a remake, even though it is. And then everything after it, now those are considered remakes of The Wizard of Oz, even though there was a silent one based on one. This has got the ruby red slippers. It's got everything that everybody knows about The Wizard of Oz isn't considered in this film. And I just don't consider this a remake per se as far as that goes. I consider it the definitive Wizard of Oz. So for that reason, I'm going to say no.
I mean, that's entirely fair. I mean, it's one of those ones. But yeah, Dan, what's your next nomination? Your first nomination.
My first is the 1982 version of The Thing, starring Kurt Russell. Now, this had a remake in the 60s that was nothing like this version. And everybody that talks to me or people I talk to, and I tell them, I am not a horror movie. I'm not afraid of horror movies. I don't like guys with knives and sharp knives and sharp hands and chainsaws and all that stuff doesn't make me scared. But what does make me scared is creatures, like creepy, crawly critters like Alien and Aliens and The Thing, this monster from The Thing where it can take over your body and just do all this crazy stuff. This movie, plus I don't like cold weather. I moved to Florida for that reason. I hate friggin' living in the Northeast, even though I love my sports teams from the Northeast still. Well, lately we're having a rough year so far this year. But The Thing is such a, oh God, creepy and monstrous monster that, I mean, I think this is a great remake. I mean, talk about a remake that really reimagines this character, this creature and stuff. And so that's why I go with The Thing. I'm sorry, that was a lot to say.
Billy, what do you say about The Thing?
Oh, The Thing is definitely on my list. It's a classic. Despite certain Schmodown Entertainment Network hosts who've never seen this movie's fantastic. It's got iconic scenes. It completely changed the genre. Kurt Russell is great in it. The unknown, you don't know who is the villain because someone is, possessed by this creature, like the dog, which is a great scene. I mean, like everything. I love that movie. It's a definite yes for me. And I didn't know it was a remake when I saw it, so it always helps.
Yeah, I mean, this is one that, like, when I first heard about it, I didn't know it was a remake, and until someone actually told me. And this is one I have seen. But yeah, it's definitely an easy yes. I love this movie. And I mean, this is another one which there's a lot of these remakes. A lot of people use as the one as the bar that people go to. I think just like Wizard of Oz, I think this is the one that people do sort of talk about. That, I mean, not that to say that I'm going to say no because of that, because it's still a remake regardless. But yeah, this is an easy yes for me. So The Thing makes the list. Hunter, have you seen The Thing?
I have seen The Thing. And yes, it's fantastic. It would have been a yes for me. Obviously, I'm a huge horror movie fan. I'm I love mysteries, and this is the ultimate mystery. Who is the creature? And it strings you along the entire time until the very end. And even at the end, you don't know really who was the killer. You don't know who was possessed. And that's what I love about it. It's the ultimate mystery.
And there might be a third one. We might get another one here pretty soon. Rumor has it there's another thing in the works.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the era we live in. They remake everything, so.
Well, I mean, at this stage of that might be in the works. We may not get it for a while. So
The 2012 one, the one that came out in 2000. This is going to be connected to that one. I think it's going to have Mary Elizabeth Winstead in it again. I think. Don't quote me.
Awesome.
well, from what I've heard, the 2011 one was actually it's supposed to be a prequel to the 82 one.
No, so
But
there you go.
I heard they're making it. Someone gets infected and they defeat the thing by sheltering in place. It's gonna be a great movie.
So the myth.
But anyway, Billy, what's the first remake you're going to throw out there?
For me, it's The Departed. It's one of my favorite Scorsese movies. It's an absolutely fantastic movie. It's Leonardo DiCaprio being this gritty cop. It's my favorite Matt Damon performance because he's just a complete jerk in it, and I'm there for it. Jack's being Jack, doing great things. And then also I went back and watched Infernal Affairs, the movie that it's based off of, and that's a great movie too. So, but yeah, I love The Departed. I think it's a great remake. It's a great movie by itself, and it's a great remake.
And Infernal Affair is based on Internal Affairs with Richard Gere. So it's a remake of a remake. Yeah, it's a remake of a remake.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought Internal Affairs with Richard Gere was a remake of Infernal Affairs.
No, I thought Internal Affairs came out first, then Infernal Affairs, then Departed. But I could be completely wrong. Won't be the first time.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Infernal Affairs is 2002, and Internal Affairs is like 89, I want to say. 90. Yeah.
But anyway, The Departed is the easiest for me. I love this movie, and yeah, this is one that I like. When I decided to actually sit down and watch it, I didn't know that I would enjoy it because I'm not a big crime movie guy. But I found I enjoyed it. And yeah, Hunter, what do you say about The Departed?
This is the one that I knew would be brought up. And this is a big one that I haven't seen yet. I gotta watch it though. Yeah.
Dan, what do you say about The Departed?
Oh yeah, I mean, I gotta put The Departed on the list. I mean, I'm a Boston guy.
Put that hat on? Yeah.
I love Infernal Affairs. I love Internal Affairs, but I love this one because look at this cast. Jack Nicholson is the gangster, and and then Matt Damon, Leonardo DiCaprio and then the guy that almost steals the whole movie, Mark Wahlberg. He's fantastic in it. You got to put The Departed on the list of best remakes. I know some people don't like it. I don't. Should have won Scorsese the Best Picture Oscar? No, he should have got it 3 times before that. It just so happens that when Wu-Tang Clan is over there freaking flapping their gums, well, guess what, people? We're going to give Scorsese some Oscars so you can shut up, Wu-Tang Clan.
Martin Sheen is great in The Departed as well.
Yeah.
He's my favorite character in that movie. So,
but yeah, it's round to me, and I'm going to go for a fairly recent one that I'm not sure if everyone's had a chance to see because it unfortunately did have a wide release at the start of all this outbreak, so it's going to be interesting. But I'm going for the Emma that came out this year. This is a phenomenal movie, and I really loved it. I love Austin, and I love the way that this one is written and shot. Like Anya Taylor-Joy really works in the role, and yeah, it did have it had a limited release early, and then it started sort of ride just recently. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be on. I think it's out on digital today, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah. Hunter, did you get a chance to see Emma, or are you waiting for the digital?
I don't think he's ready.
Wait for digital now, apparently. No, I haven't seen this one.
Yeah, as I said, I didn't. I don't know, Dan. What do you say?
I
About
like
Emma?
them. I'm a big fan of Anya Taylor-Joy. I really enjoyed the back and forth. I just thought it was slow in the middle, Malcolm. It just gets kind of drags in the middle until it finally picks up towards the end. It's like, God Almighty, will this thing get going? But it's Jane Austen. It's the kind of dialogue and that stuff. I really enjoyed Emma. But I'm gonna have to say no, Malcolm.
And Billy, what do you say about Emma?
Have not seen it yet.
That's fair. As I said, I knew this was probably going to happen, but I thought, as a first pick, I'll throw it out early, just see what happens, because I wasn't going to base it on a later pick. But which means, Hunter, we go back to you.
All right, I'm gonna go with. Hopefully, this one gets on because this is one of my favorite movies from this director. It's 2002's Insomnia, directed by Christopher Nolan. It's a remake of a 1997 Norwegian film. My God, what a movie! Starting with the cast, you have Al Pacino in the lead, Robin Williams, Hilary Swank. It's a murder mystery set in a time where you follow the main lead and you go crazy with him because they're in the situation where it doesn't get nighttime. You're sitting around just wondering what time it is, and you have a murder mystery on top of that. Robin Williams as the villain was terrifying. He was fantastic. This whole movie is incredible. One of my favorites from Nolan.
Dan, what do you say about Insomnia?
Honestly, I had no idea what Hunter was going to bring up. But when he said Insomnia, my eyes lit up because I love Insomnia. Insomnia is one of my favorite Nolan films. Like he said, one of my favorite actors, Al Pacino, 2-time Oscar winner, Hilary Swank, Robin Williams is the villain. He had this group of films in the early 2000s where he was playing the villain 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's set in Alaska, Night Mute, Alaska. Is it Night Mute, Alaska? No, that's 30 Days of Night. That's 30 Days of Night. A Nome, Alaska, or wherever, where it's just, and he can't sleep, and he's investigating this murder, and he can't sleep, so he starts having visions and things like that. It's really crazy. Mm-hmm. But I love it. So I'm saying it's a big yes for me for Insomnia.
Billy, what do you say about Insomnia?
Oh man, this movie. So I love Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan's probably my favorite director. This is probably my least favorite Christopher Nolan movie, but I still love this movie because there's so much to love. Pacino, again, it's one of my least favorite Pacino performances, but it's still Pacino doing great things. He's still checked in, at least. It's not him checked out like you've seen a lot of his later stuff. And Robin Williams is fantastic. This is his best role as a villain. Much better than 1 Hour Photo. Mm-hmm. And then, the intrigue of it all. Christopher Nolan writes intrigue really well. Some people just say you don't know what's going on in a Christopher Nolan movie anyway, but in this movie, you're not supposed to know what's going on, so It really works. So yeah, I would definitely put it in as one of my top remakes. The original is really good too. If you haven't seen the original, I think it's
I have to watch
one of the Skarsgård dad or the Skarsgård dad.
Skarsgård is the Al Pacino.
Yeah, Stellan Skarsgård plays the Pacino character. It's really good, and he plays it better because he is the sweatiest man I've ever seen in my life in that movie. He is so more sweatier than Russell Crowe in The Nice Guys. Sweatier than there is a constant sheen of sweat on that man in that original Insomnia. Woo. Malcolm, what do you think of Insomnia?
Yeah, first of all, I think Al Pacino prefers Dunkachino, but that being said, I haven't seen this in a while, and I I actually don't remember this movie. I would have just said no for the fact I haven't seen it in a while and just don't remember it. But it's got enough yeses to make the list regardless. But yeah. But Dan, what's the next movie going to throw out there?
I can't believe we've gone this long without somebody mentioning. We're going back to Al Pacino, boys. Scarface, 1983. I freaking love this movie. You want to talk about, look, he was Michael Corleone, and he was like the calm, collected gangster in those first two Godfather. He's the over-the-top, crazy gangster. Say hello to my little friend. He's snorting coke left and right. He's beating up Michelle Pfeiffer. He's got F. Murray Abraham, an Oscar winner in here. It's Brian De Palma. I mean, how can you not go for Scarface, 1983?
Billy, what do you say about Scarface?
Ben Bateman is a dirty traitor to the Action Army, but this is the one thing I agree with him on. I hate Scarface. What? I cannot stand that movie. I am bored from like start to finish.
What?
Like literally the only thing that is enjoyable in that movie is when he finally loses it at the end and, to say hello to my little friend, the iconic scene. The rest of it is a lot of guys standing around in coffee shops talking to each other about what they're going to do. Show me what they do. All right. And then, honestly, if it was directed by Scorsese, it'd be a better movie because the pacing would have been so much better than Brian De Palma's slow, early. I felt De Palma got better later. A lot of people feel like De Palma fell apart later. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Scarface, unfortunately.
It's also written by Oliver Stone.
The writing's fine, but it's like the pacing and the direction of it is just so slow to me.
Crazy. That's crazy. Never heard anybody talk so bad about Scarface.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I also not a big fan of Scarface. Honestly, I really love the say hello to my little friend scene, but that's it. I'm gonna have to say no to Scarface.
Me and Dad have the exact same reaction.
What the hell is going on here, Hunter?
Here's where I'm going to get hate. The way that Billy feels about Scarface, I feel about The Godfather. I cannot finish the first Godfather movie, but I love Scarface.
You're not invited to the mob movie. Top 12.
Wow.
I love Scarface, man. I've watched it multiple times.
I never anticipated Scarface not getting on this list.
I know, right?
I've seen Scarface probably like 2.5 times. It's one full time, and then like 3 different times I tried to watch the movie and couldn't get through it because I was so bored.
Wow. Oh my God.
Sorry.
Anyway, Billy, what's the next remake?
So my next movie is a little movie called Ocean's 11. It's a remake of a Rat Pack movie. Back in the Rat Pack days, they just threw the Rat Pack into a movie and didn't really make that good of a movie. This time, they kind of just took anybody who was famous at the time and threw them into the movie, but managed to actually make a really good movie. It's probably my favorite heist movie. Brad Pitt is phenomenal in this movie by looking bored the whole time, which is amazing. I don't know how that's possible. Matt Damon is frenetic and crazy, and Don Cheadle is a British bank bomb expert for some reason. Who knows? There's Chinese acrobats doing flips. What's not to love?
Funnily enough, we come back to another movie which we can easily connect to Al Pacino, even though he wasn't in this one. I believe it was 13 that he was in, but
13, yeah.
Ocean's 11 is still Al Pacino adjacent. Yeah, Ocean's 11 is on my list. I'm a big fan of Ocean's 11. It's a yes for me. Hunter, what do you say about Ocean's 11?
Never seen it.
Dan?
What?
I have it on my list of 14, Billy. But it has not gotten. We haven't eliminated enough movies off of my list to where that would just move up the list yet. So because of that, I have to say I have to vote Ocean's 11 off because I have a lot of movies ahead of Ocean's 11 on my list. I would like to try to see if we can get on here. I'm sorry, man.
Fair.
I had it basically. It was the 13th movie on my list before I added in another one, so I had a total of 14. But we got 3 of the ones on my list on the thing, and one of them not on. So.
But anyway, I'm going to go back to the Robin Williams role, and I'm going to bring up one of my favorite sort of 90s comedies that he was in, and I'm bringing up Flubber, which is a remake of Them to Mine Professor, and Flubber is a great movie. It's a nice comedy. It's like Robin Williams sort of at his sort of comedic peak, so to speak. And this is just one of those movies which I do know gets a lot of hate at times, but I think it's a great movie. I enjoy watching it every time. And I think I've seen it a few times since Disney Plus has been around. But Hunter, what do you say about Flubber?
See, Flubber is one I watched maybe once or twice as a kid. I just don't remember a lot about it. So yeah, it's gonna be a no for me just because I can't remember a lot about it.
Dan?
I'll be honest with you, Malcolm. I know people that grew up in the 90s kind of like these movies, but I'll be honest, I like the Don Knotts, the Nutty Professor. I believe it's the Don Knotts Nutty Professor. I think I like that better. To me, that's the
one with Eddie Murphy.
No, isn't it?
No, Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis.
Jerry
Lewis. I like the Jerry Lewis Nutty Professor better than that version. So for me, the definitive Nutty Professor is the Jerry Lewis version. And I loved Jerry Lewis as a kid. I mean, this guy was hilarious growing up. And this is one of the ones that really cemented it for me of him as like one of the great comedians of all time. So I'm going to have to say no because I like the other one better.
I think you are confusing movies. It's the Absent-Minded Professor, which is the original one, to Flubber, which is
Williams,
which is Fred McMurray.
All right, I knew I was getting something mixed up there. But I still like the original better, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's fine. I just want to mention that because when you were talking Nutty Professor, like you're going the wrong way. I just want to make sure that you were. But anyway, Billy, what would you have said about Flubber?
I'm in the same boat as Dan on this one because Flubber came out in 1997, so I was in like the middle of my angsty, jaded high school years where I like was not in those kind of movies, and I also really like the Absent-Minded Professor and the original Nutty Professor. I like both of those movies. Those are the movies I kind of grew up on. Magical World of Disney on like a Saturday, you would get like some random movie, sometimes a new movie, sometimes like a classic, and then also I had all the classic Disney movies on like VHS, and those were some of the I think the Absent-Minded Professor was on there, so I would vote no, but it's a good movie. I love Robin Williams. That's probably my like least favorite Robin Williams performance, just because he just goes crazy, which is what the character is. Just not as like was it I think Death to Smooch, wasn't he in Death to Smoochie like around that time too?
And
he also kind of like goes crazy. Like,
that was early 2000s, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like in that movie, he kind of goes crazy as well, but it's in like a really dark way, and it's like much more my style. Yeah.
But yeah, Hunter, we go back to you.
All right, as someone who is a huge horror movie fan, how can I not go with a remakes list without bringing this one up? The Ring, which is a remake of 1998's Ringu. Yeah, a fantastic adaptation, a fantastic remake. I love the whole idea of Samara, the ring, 7 days, the videotapes, everything about it is super creepy. And then the TV scene is iconic, which when Samara comes out of the TV, super scary, super intriguing, and always keeps you guessing what's going on through the whole length of the movie. So I'm bringing up The Ring.
Dan, what do you say about The Ring?
I am not a fan of The Ring, so for me, it's a no.
Billy, what do you say about The Ring?
I'm not the biggest horror fan. I have 2 horror movies on my list. Unfortunately, The Ring was not one of them. I guess technically I have like 3, but or 4 actually. Well, I have a lot of horror on my list for somebody who doesn't like horror. But The Ring was not in my top 12.
Yeah. I mean, I remember seeing this movie in the theaters when it first came out. I thought it was scary. The more times I've seen it, the less scary it has gotten. It would have been a hell no for me.
Also, there's like I have like a little bit of like a bad feeling about The Ring because The Ring spawned a whole like genre of not genre, but like those sort of horror movies that were like of that time, and they got worse and worse as they came out. Because you had like The Grudge, you had like The Boogeyman, you had like all these other movies that came out.
Wasn't bad in my opinion. The new one is bad, but
yeah. But the movies got progressively worse, and you can like link them back to The Ring as like that sort of. The Ring at least had a good story, but the ending execution of it was not the best.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those ones like even The Ring has spawned a lot of movies about things that shouldn't be killing you. So I know there's fear.com somewhere around there, which is about a website you go to and you die if you look at it or something.
Oh my gosh, awful.
But anyway, Dan, what's the next movie you're going to bring up?
I'm a big fan of westerns, and I just love westerns. And recently, we've been getting some western remakes. But the first of the western remakes that really, I mean, arguably, this is better than the original. Usually, the remake isn't as good as the original, but this is one where the remake is actually better than the Glenn Ford Van Heflin version in 1955. It's called 3:10 to Yuma, starring Christian Bale and Russell Crowe. It's got Logan Lerman in it. It's got Ben Foster as, oh man, what a nasty, nasty character Ben Foster plays in this. But it's a really great film. It's directed by, let me look here. I forgot. I'm sorry. I wanted to look at the director and I forgot the director. I think it might be Mangold, but I'm not sure. I just want to be sure.
Yeah. James Mangold directed.
James Mangold, he did the Walk the Line. He did Logan. He did, Ford v Ferrari this past year. He's rumored to be doing the next Indiana Jones movie.
I hope so.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I hope he does it.
Yeah. So I'm going for the 2007 3:10 to Yuma.
Billy, what do you say about 3:10 to Yuma?
Oh, I'm a huge Christian Bale fan, so that it has that going for it. I love westerns; it has that going for it. And like you said, I was looking at all the westerns because there's a lot of western remakes. I have 2 on my list. One of them is because it's much better than the original, and then another one that's just as good as the original. But 3:10 to Yuma is definitely on my list.
Yeah, this is one that I tried to find to watch for this, but I just couldn't find it, so I haven't seen it.
Oh, wow.
I mean, when you said Western Remake, I thought you were going to bring up a different one that I watched for this as well.
Oh.
But Hunter, it's all on you now. What do you say about 3:10 to Yuma?
I haven't seen it either.
Oh my god!
God, are you kidding me? Man, oh man.
You guys need to watch that movie. That movie is so good.
I'm
Russell Crowe
here soon.
This is 2
and Christian Bale are fantastic together.
This was 2 that I thought for sure that were going to be on the list. I swear. I never thought the 2 that I just mentioned, the 2 that weren't going to be on the list. I never even had a clue that they wouldn't be on the list.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones that if like more movies get available on the streaming service in New Zealand, I can watch them. But yeah, but Billy, what's your next remake you're going to bring up?
So my next remake, as I said, I don't like horror, but I have some horror movies on my list, and this one is Dawn of the Dead from 2004. literally like I would say it's probably the best remake because horror fans say that Dawn of the Dead from the original is like a perfect movie, and then they remade it now and they like it even better. Because there's fast zombies, it's more intense, it's more there's better characters. It's just what you want in a remake, and that's why it's on my list.
Yeah, I mean, I love my horror movies. I do, but like, it's for me when it comes to zombie movies. I don't connect to the because I mean, to me, it's like there's a lot of the ones that if they're not sort of comedic zombie movies like Shaun of the Dead and that was like Dawn of the Dead, it just felt like it's like there isn't a lot that separates this from other zombie movies. So to me, they're all about basically the same. It just gets boring. So I'm going to say no to this. But Hunter, what do you say about Dawn of the Dead?
Billy, my man, it's a yes for me. This is one of my favorite horror remakes because Zack Snyder understood what he needed to change from the original, but kept what made the original so perfect. It wasn't the zombies that were the main focus. It was the people trapped in the mall, and they have to survive while dealing with each of them having personal issues they have to deal with, as well as the fast zombies coming in. You had two threats. You had the threats of the humans and the threats of the zombies. And that's what made this one a very beautiful, perfect remake of an already perfect original movie. So yes for me.
Dan, what do you say about Dawn of the Dead?
Okay, now, just to be clear, Dawn of the Dead is a remake of Night of the Living Dead? Am I clear?
No, it's a remake of the original Dawn of the Dead by George A. Romero.
Right, because the original Night of the Living Dead, those are standalone movies. As much as everybody groups them in as a trilogy, they're standalone movies.
All right, well, guess what, guys? Very few movies slipped through the cracks for me, but this one was one of them. I did not see this movie, guys. I never saw this movie. I have no idea anything about it. I'm sorry. And that's rarely, you can ask Malcolm, that rarely happens for me.
It happened again.
Just to be clear, we have 3 movies on the list right now that are officially on the list, right? The Thing, The Departed, and Insomnia. That's it, right? We don't have any other.
Yeah, I never saw this. I know people have talked about it, and
It's gonna be a long list.
That movie is worth seeing. It launched Zack Snyder's career for good or for bad.
Well, I'm a big fan of 300.
Yeah, 300's great. I mean,
I love Watchmen.
But yeah, I'm going to. But it's back to me, and I'm going to go for the other recent movie I thought Dan was going to bring up. True Grit. This is I probably be corrected if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first time the remake has gotten the actor that played that same role the Oscar for the movie. But this is a beautiful movie, and it made me want to go back and find the original if I can and watch that. See how much different or similar it is. But I love this movie. Jeff Bridges is great in it. And this is one that I didn't know what I was going to think because I'm not one that goes to westerns a lot, but if it looks good and looks interesting, then I will watch it and give it a shot. Or if I'm doing a list like this in which there's a western, I'll go to watch it regardless. But yeah, Hunter, what do you say about True Grit?
Sadly, I've only seen half of the new True Grit. I have to go back and rewatch it. I don't remember a lot about it, so yeah.
Dan, what do you?
Well, I mean, I it's on my list, Malcolm. I love True Grit, but there is another western that's on my list, Malcolm. I was hoping we'd get 3 westerns on the list here, because you guys really disappointed me with no 3:10 to Yuma. But I definitely am going to go for True Grit because I love the cast: Matt Damon, Josh Brolin, Haley Steinfeld in her breakout role. She's fantastic in it. Jeff Bridges coming off of his Oscar win with Cold Crazy Heart. This is on after that, I believe, and he's fantastic as Rooster Cogburn in this. I loved it. I really did love it, and the Coen Brothers, they did it again with this one. I really enjoyed True Grit.
And Billy, what do you say about True Grit?
What do I say about True Grit? True Grit's on the list because I love this movie. This movie's so good. It's another one of those westerns that is. It's hard to say is it better than the original or not because I mean the original's John Wayne. Like, come on. But this one is the Coen Brothers. It's also a remake that seems nothing like the original, but has all the elements of the original so you know it's a remake, which is all, again, it's like, that's the kind of thing you want from a remake. You want it to call back and remind you of the old one, but give you new things and new ideas and new interpretations of it without, pandering to anybody. True Grit does not do that. True Grit is my favorite Coen Brothers movie, which don't at me. Yeah, it's on the list for me for sure.
We finally have 4 movies, ladies and gentlemen.
I know, right, guys? All right.
I never
tune in
thought,
next week. No.
I never thought 310 and Scarface were not going to be on this list. I was flabbergasted by that.
Scarface is come on.
Well, I mean, it's also one of those ones like everyone's got their own opinions about movies.
Yeah.
But
the reason why one more real quick about Scarface. The other reason why I don't like Scarface is because so many people think that liking Scarface makes them like smart about movies or something like that. I'm like, it's not what they're like. Oh, I know so much about movies. Let me tell you about Scarface, and I'm like, get out of here.
No.
Come talk to me about Goodfellas. Come talk to me about The Godfather. Come talk to me about like better mob movies. But that's enough about Scarface. Moving on. Maybe we can get a 5th movie on the list.
Hunter, what's your next remake you're going to bring up?
Hopefully I can get number 5 on the list because it's one directed by Malcolm himself. King Kong 2005, directed by Peter Jackson.
Oh my God, Malcolm didn't bring it up.
Yeah.
It's not on Malcolm's list.
But yeah, well, going back and rewatching it, this movie is incredible. It's got a lot of visually fantastic looking scenes, especially King Kong versus the dinosaur on Skull Island. Fantastic fight scene. The cast is really great with Naomi Watts, Jack Black in a very, very great role. Adrian Brody, just the acting's on point. The scope and scale of this movie that Peter Jackson brings to it is insanely great. So yeah, I'm going King Kong 2005.
Well, I hate to say it, Hunter. I actually like the original from 1933 much better. I think what Ray Harryhausen did with that film, the stop motion animation was incredible. And to me, I feel more emotion for that version of King Kong. And I just absolutely, I love that film. So I'm going to say no, but I wouldn't be surprised if you guys voted it on. But I love the original.
Billy, what do you say about King Kong 2005?
Sorry, Hunter. I'm not the biggest fan of King Kong from 2005. The cast is fine. I just feel like Peter Jackson, except for when he's doing Lord of the Rings, is like, and Meet the Feebles, classic. It's not like, it's just, I don't know. Adrian Brody feel odd in this movie. You're like, why are you in this movie? Like, everyone else in this movie has a movie career. You haven't had a movie career since you made The Jacket. What are you doing here? They should have found you on Skull Island, Adrian Brody.
He's in.
The only good thing that we did get out of this is that it showed us that what's his name can play a monkey.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, Andy Serkis can play a monkey. That was the one good thing we got out of this.
Malcolm's gonna say yes.
It's his movie. He better say yes.
Well, I mean, it's not going to make the list anyway. I mean, this is a case of I didn't bring it up because I know that this movie isn't that loved. I mean, I had it on my list, but I mean, I was prepared for it to not make the list regardless.
I don't hate it. I'll be honest, I don't hate it, but I love the original so much more. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I
one that
actually liked Kong Skull Island more than I did King Kong.
Ooh, those are fighting words, Billy. Good thing you guys aren't in the same room together.
I'm gonna go watch Scarface when this is done, and then turn it off 23 minutes into it.
but anyway, Dan,
You still have 4 movies out of 12.
All right. Well, I was shocked. We should have at least 6 or 7 by now. Boy, oh boy, I got enough to make 12. I got enough movies on my list so we can make 12, Billy. And I probably should have voted Ocean's 11 on now. I'm looking at my list. I'm like, oh, why did I vote Ocean's 11 down?
I'm right at 12 as well, so maybe we're good. Maybe we're good.
I apologize, Billy, for that. I'm going to go back to the Westerns, guys. I'm going to go back to the Westerns. But this time, we're going back to 1960. James Coburn, Steve McQueen, The Magnificent Seven, which is a remake of The Seven Samurai. And this is an absolute fantastic. Eli Wallach is the villain. He plays a Mexican guy, and he's not in real life. He's not Mexican, but he's playing a Mexican guy in this. Changing white people for Indians or black people or Mexicans or whatever. They did a lot of that back in the day. So they don't at me. That happened in the movie. But James Coburn, Steve McQueen, what's his name? Oh, guy, Westworld guy, black guy.
Oh, Yul Brynner.
Yul Brynner. I mean, what a classic. This is an absolute classic. And I'll be honest with you, I love the Chris Pratt, Denzel Washington version, but I love this version better. So, and of course, Seven Samurai is one of the greatest films of all time. We don't want to get into that. So the Magnificent Seven from 1960.
Billy, what do you say about the Magnificent Seven?
Oh, this is definitely on my list. This is the third Western I had on my list. There should be 3 Westerns on this list because they're all amazing remakes. This is the one where it's shocking how good it is compared to the original, because the original is an absolute masterpiece. And there should no way that you should be able to take this classic samurai story and put it in the Old West and somehow of America, and it somehow still works. But at its basis, it's good versus evil. It's the classic story. Again, you have an all-star cast at the top of their game. It's fantastic. I love this movie. I'm not a big fan of the remake, the newest remake, but that's because I love this movie so much. But yeah, Magnificent Seven, no brainer at all. This goes on the list.
Malcolm.
Yeah, this is one I haven't seen.
I knew it. I knew someone.
I mean, once again, this is one that I knew was going to come up. I just had to have it. I hadn't had a chance to find it before I could. And I think I know where Hunter's going on this.
Come on, Hunter.
Dan, Billy, I'm sorry. I haven't seen it.
Unbelievable. This is ridiculous. This is getting crazy. This is so. I'm running out of movies, guys. I am running out of movies on my list here. I should have voted Ocean's 11 on, Billy. I'm sorry. Can we go back and vote Ocean's 11 on? Can we please do that?
I mean, it's an unprecedented move, but I will allow it if you want to do it.
Let's see where we're at. Once we've all got rid of our list, let's see where we're at. Something better will come along.
I have like 4 movies left, so
I got about 6 or 7.
All right. So my next movie is again, Andy Serkis showed that he could play an ape in Kong, and then he perfected it in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. This movie is fantastic.
Billy, hold on a second. We got to ask Malcolm for a ruling on this. Malcolm,
is
a remake of Planet of the Apes?
It's a re-adaptation.
I'm
I
asking,
brought that up to Malcolm.
hey, Billy, I love the movie. I'm just asking Malcolm. That's it.
This is one that it's more of a reboot than a remake. It's
Okay.
because I kind of see this as a prequel kind of figure as opposed to an actual remake of Planet
Remake?
of the Apes. So
Yeah,
unfortunately, I was about to stop you once you'd finished talking.
Oh no, Billy, I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah, me
would have
too.
guessed in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I love it too.
A remake. That's all.
I will just say this: literally every top remake list I looked at had Rise of the Planet of the Apes on there. But
Whoa.
Yeah, I get. I mean, once again, it's all subjective. I mean, some people want to say it's a remake,
right.
but I mean,
All right,
to
so
me,
I'll do a
it's not.
different
So-
remake. This is a remake. It is literally like a shot-for-shot remake, which I didn't know this. True Lies is a remake of a French film called Le Total, and it is literally the exact same story, minus the they're definitely Middle Eastern terrorists that you have in True Lies. You don't have that in the French film, but yeah, and I love True Lies. It's great. It's the best action comedy I think I've ever seen. It's Tom Arnold is like me in that movie, so I'm all about it. Arnold Schwarzenegger being Arnold, doing all his Arnold stuff. One of the last times where he was really believable as like the world's strongest man. But yeah, True Lies.
Yeah, I'm just going to do this and say, Hunter, what do you say about True Lies?
Billy, I have seen this one. You almost gave me a heart attack when you said shot for shot remake because I was hoping you wouldn't go Psycho. And I was like, thank God you didn't, because that would have been a no in a heartbeat. But True Lies is fantastic. It's a yes for me.
Dan, what do you say about True Lies?
Same thing, Billy. When I was studying for this, not that I needed to do a whole lot of studying. I just studied anyway just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm like, oh my God, True Lies is a remake and it's a French film. Oh wow! When you brought it up, I said, oh wow, great. I'll put that on the list. True Lies is great. And like Hunter said, I was like, please don't say Psycho. Please don't say Psycho.
So we now have 5 titles. 2 of them have true in the title, and then 2 of them are 2-word titles that are the something. That's where we're sitting at here.
We have 6.
Well, I mean, we've got 6 because
Middle.
Dan changed his vote to get Ocean's 11 in here. So.
Yep, so we have
Oh,
6.
okay, so we do have Ocean's 11. All right.
Yeah,
Nice.
look at Billy, I help you. You got 2. You just got 2 on the list in one shot, Billy.
I'm winning.
I'm telling you, we're running low, guys. We are really running low.
We are.
Problem is, there's not a lot of great remakes out
I
there.
had a list of 14. I had a list of 14, Hunter, and I could legitimately have made excuses for all 14 to be on the list, and I knew 2 of them wouldn't be on the list. But now with True Lies on the list, that knocks something down. So I have just enough movies on my list to make a list of 12 if we get that.
But yeah, I'm just going to bring this up because this was put up in Magnificent Seven. Because when I make these lists, I always prepare for hate comments. So it's for a lot of these lists, I just know that they get
all the hate comments.
Of course, you're going to get hate comments. I mean, that's how people. That's why we all live in countries that we have free speech. You're going to get hate comments in those countries,
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, with a lot of these lists, I always prepare for it because I know that. When it's a movie I haven't seen, is like but especially when those big ones miss. But anyway,
back to Malcolm.
But this is one that I'm going to bring up one because. Actually, I won't bring that one up because I think that's going to have the same sort of issue. I'm going to bring up Little Women from 2019. This is one that I love this movie, and I think it is a perfect movie. And this is one that I do think is a great remake. It's a great sort of different adaptation of the story, and I am going to try and see the other ones to sort of compare them. But this is one that I love and think deserves to be on this list. Hunter, what do you say about Little Women from 2019?
It's a movie I missed. I haven't seen it yet, sadly.
I could have put money on that. No,
Yeah,
I'm not.
you won.
That's all right. I did not think.
Dan.
You know I love you, Hunter. Actually, Malcolm, I'm right there with you, man. I loved Little Women. I'm telling you right now, Florence Pugh, Emma Watson, Saoirse Ronan, Timothy Chalamet, Meryl Streep, Laura Dern. I mean, I thought this movie was an absolute fantastic movie. I had it on number 6 on my top 10 movies of the year of 2019. And I cannot say enough. And I saw the Winona Ryder one, Malcolm, and I believe this one's better. That's just my opinion. I think this one's better. Now, the old one with Katharine Hepburn, I just can't see Katharine Hepburn in that role, that kind of. But it was so long ago, I guess it kind of fit in for the time. But this one I loved, so I'm going to say yes. Tell me you saw this, Billy. Tell me you saw this, Billy.
Billy, what do you say about
this
Little
movie? Little Women, 2019's Little Women. I hadn't seen it until I saw it, and that movie is fantastic. That movie's a great movie. It's the kind of movie that I always love, where there are so many actresses in it, or so many good actors, or whatever. You can have a favorite, and any one of them could be your favorite part of the movie. Like, a lot of people loved Florence Pugh in it. A lot of people loved, was it Emma Watson in it?
Saoirse Ronan.
A lot of people loved all these characters. I love Saoirse Ronan. She's my favorite in that movie. I think she steals the show. Again, like, it's perfect. I love the old one. I like the Winona Ryder one. I think that's a great movie as well. Again, it's funny because this movie, weirdly, like, I heard nothing about almost until it came out. Like, really bad marketing on it. It kind of, like, I was like, why are we remaking? And then I was like, oh wait, we remake everything. And I kind of thought it was just gonna be one of those throwaway remakes. And then it was a movie that they talked about on Collider Live, and they were like saying how much they loved it, and that's what made me go watch the movie, and it was so good. So yeah, it's definitely on this for me.
Malcolm, there was a remake in 2018 of Little Women.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, apparently that one's not good.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones. Sometimes when it comes to remakes, they bring it out at a time in which it needs to happen. Because I think with this one, I think it tied into may have leaned more into the female empowerment than what was intended from the book. And I think in this day and age, I think it's one of those things, like, sometimes remakes are needed to sort of do something like that and bring a message with it. But
yeah, this one I have to watch immediately.
I think the one in 2018 was more. It went down like a Christian avenue, where this one, like you said, Malcolm, it had meaning towards society and pushing women in powerful roles and stuff like that. And that's why the Saoirse Ronan character really, at the end, where she's like, I want the rights to my books. You're not going to have the rights. You're just going to publish my books. I mean, she was like telling that guy. So that was really cool, to see that.
But Hunter, we go back to you.
Hopefully I can get another one on the list here. This was my favorite movie of this year. Or not this year, but the year this movie came out. It's been remade, I think, 4 times. It's 2018's A Star Is Born. And I've seen this movie so many times, and each time I watch it, I am captivated by the performances in this movie. Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga, Sam Elliott giving a fantastic performance. You believe the chemistry between Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. They work super well. The music is great. The soundtrack is incredible. Overall, this is a very powerful story that I really love. So I'm bringing up 2018's A Star Is Born.
Dan, what do you say about A Star Is Born?
You know what's the weirdest thing, Hunter? I thought I should have known this. That the Star was like a fourth remake. And when I was doing my study and stuff, making sure I didn't miss anything, didn't even come up. Stars Born didn't even come up. And when you said A Star Is Born, I was like, the hell? Why didn't this come up in my looking things up and stuff like that? I love A Star Is Born. Are you kidding me? Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga, Sam Elliott. I mean, this movie's phenomenal. I cannot believe that never came up. That definitely would have made my short list here. So I'm going to say, of course, yes.
I mean, when I saw you with the shock face, I thought it was going to be a case you really disagreed with. You really didn't like Star Is Born.
But why did I find it? Why did this in my stuff?
But anyway, Billy, what do you say about A Star Is Born?
I love Bradley Cooper. I love him in this movie. Sam Elliott is really good in this movie. I didn't love it as much as you guys, I think, but I think it's a really good remake. The only thing is, it's like the fifth time they remade this movie. It's like, please remake A Star Is Born anymore. Like, that's enough of Star Is Born. She got born a while ago.
You know what? It's supposed to be
4 different times.
Hey, Billy,
it's like a decent actress who can sing. They're like, we're gonna make A Star Is Born, guys. All right.
You know what this
movie? A Star Is Born. How did that never happen?
Hey, Billy, this is going to be Clint Eastwood, right? It was going to be Beyonce, and it was going to be somebody else. Like, go ahead, Malcolm.
Oh, I don't know who the male lead was, but I know it was going to be Beyonce, and it was going to be hip hop.
Bradley Cooper was going to be the male lead, but it was going to be different. It wasn't going to be the way it was in this version. And then when Clint couldn't do it, Bradley jumped in, and then he changed it around, and that's how you got the version you got. But it was going to be completely different when Clint did it with Beyonce and Bradley Cooper.
Wow.
So who knows what we would have got in that version, you know? But go ahead, Billy. I'm sorry, I cut you off there.
No, you're good. I mean, that's like, I'm just like that. I've had enough of A Star Is Born. Like, we don't need any, like, anytime an actress who can kind of sing. Granted, Lady Gaga can really sing. She's definitely more of a singer than an actress. But like, we're done. Make a new movie with someone singing. You know.
So you said no for this?
No, I said yes for this. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. I couldn't tell.
I mean, even if he did say no, it was going to make the list, but I was going to say yes anyway.
Right.
But this is the only one I've seen. I'm going to try watch the other ones, but from what I understand, each version of Star Is Born.
Barbara Streisand, Chris Christopherson version I don't like, but I do like the Bing Crosby version. Malcolm, you get a chance, and I heard it was on Netflix. The Bing Crosby version was on Netflix, but I don't know. I could be wrong. But I mean, stuff that's on Netflix over there is not going to be on Netflix. Yeah, not this. All right. Yep.
You gotta get a VPN there, Malcolm, and trick your computer into thinking it's in the United States.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard about each version of A Star Is Born, it's all they all go different ways, and so like even though each version is a remake, it's still it's a slightly different story that goes around with this. So, and I mean, like that's one of those ones. Like you can get the shot-for-shot remakes, and sometimes they can be just as good. But you can also get the ones in which
Psycho,
and you can also get the ones that change story up enough so that it's still different, even though it's still the same story, just taking different paths to get where they want to go at the end. But anyway, we go back to Dan for his next nomination.
And I've been really debating on what I have left on my list, what I want to pick here, Malcolm. I want to pick something you guys have seen. I also want to pick something I think deserves to be on the list. I mean, everything on my list, I believe deserves to be on the list. So I'm kind of debating between two right now. I'm just going to go with it and just see if I can get it on the list. Back in the day, there was a movie called Casino Royale, which is a James Bond comedy. Well, guess what? They decided to make a drama starring Daniel Craig, and it was phenomenal. And he gets hit in the nuts by a mallet while sitting on a chair, and that's very painful to watch on TV by Mads Mikkelsen. But this movie is amazing, and I'm going with Casino Royale with Daniel Craig.
Billy, what do you say about Casino Royale?
Casino Royale is the only Daniel Craig Bond movie that I really enjoy. It's a great movie. It's a frightening torture movie. More frightening than anything they did in like the Hostel or any of like the horror torture movies. Casino. What's Ava Green is fantastic in this movie. That's if she had been in like all the Bond movies with Daniel Craig, I would have been happy because she's amazing in this. She steals the show from the like debuting Daniel Craig as Bond. So yeah, I put it on the list. What's that?
Was that Craig's first outing as Bond? I thought it was Quantum of Solace.
No, Quantum.
No, Casino Royale's first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's all downhill from there.
I like Skyfall.
Yeah, this is the one that I was debating in my head before, which is before I brought up Little Women, because this is one that is kind of on the cusp of remake reboot, because it's a reboot in the sense it kicks off the whole Craig arc. But it's a remake in the sense it still is a remake because it's so. I mean, I'm still going to say yes to it. This is just one of those ones of which it's so on the cusp. But it's still, for the want of a better word, it's still a remake regardless. Hunter, what would you have said?
Dan, put your money down. I haven't seen any of the Craig Bond movies, but I will watch them before No Time to Die. I'm going to watch all of them before No Time to Die comes out.
Hunter, stop watching Dracula from Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I mean, you've got all the time to watch all the Bond ones now. So.
Yeah.
You make a lot of money on your work. Do you make a lot of money on your job, Hunter?
Make good money.
Well, guess what's out this week? It's a 4K box set of all the Daniel Craig Bond films on 4K.
Damn.
Unfortunately, you can't go anywhere to get it because you're trapped in your house.
I don't know. Arkansas might have different rules in California and Florida. Who knows? I don't know.
And besides, shh, I have sights. Shh.
But anyway, Billy, we go back to you.
All right, so let's see if we can get another movie on the list. My next one, the original stars Robert Mitchum and Gregory Peck, and the remake stars Nick Nolte and Robert De Niro. It's Cape Fear. It's De Niro as a psychopath trying to terrorize a family on vacation in North Carolina. It's De Niro, like maybe some of his best acting he's ever done, because it's different than, he's not playing an Italian gangster or an Irishman. It's a fantastic movie. The original's really good with Mitchum, just because Mitchum is terrifying, but somehow De Niro becomes just as terrifying without all the physical impressiveness of Mitchum. The way he kind of wheedles his way into the family's life and then starts terrorizing them. It's a great remake, really good, and it's definitely on my list.
But yeah, I know I've seen Cape Fear once. I just don't remember too much about the movie to be confident saying yes to it.
Okay.
But so yeah, I do have to say no. But Hunter, what do you say about Cape Fear?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Malcolm. I've seen it once. I'm about to go back and rewatch it again. I just don't remember a lot about it. I remember some of the big scenes, but that's about it.
You remember this scene, Hunter? Come out, wherever you are. You remember that? Counselor, come out, wherever you are. Now, Juliette Lewis, she's great in it. My Nick
Oh yeah,
Robert De Niro is great. Love Cape Fear. Of course, Billy is not going to get on.
But
and if
Dan,
you get
what
a
would
chance
you?
to watch the original too, it's great, and they're great as a
I voted yes for it, Malcolm.
feature.
I know it's not on because you and Hunter haven't seen it.
Well, we've seen it.
We just don't remember it.
Okay. I would have said yes. I love Cape Fear. I shocked Billy brought it up. To be honest, I didn't even think anybody would bring Cape Fear up. And when he brought it up, I was like, "Oh my God, crap! That's right, Cape Fear."
But yeah, for my next one, I'm going to bring up one that is slightly a guilty pleasure for me, but I do think this is a great remake, and this is going to be the first one from this era that I'm going to bring up. This is also going to be the first Disney live action remake I'm bringing up.
Wow.
I was a fan of Dumbo. I liked Tim Burton's Dumbo. And I think what they did with the animated movie and how they managed to stretch it out and actually put more of a story to this, getting rid of some of the problematic elements of that. I think Dumbo is a good job. Like Michael Keaton was great in it. Like, and all the cast. Like, well, I did have some issues with it. I think it was one of the great Disney remakes out there. Hunter, what do you say about Dumbo?
Malcolm, you were so close. You were so close to picking the right one. You were so close. I watched Dumbo once, did not really like it. Yeah, it's gonna be a no for me.
Dan, what do you say about Dumbo?
I mean, I actually,
on the same wavelength.
when you're dealing with 12, Malcolm, and I know we're getting kind of down to the slim pickings here, I still think there's another Disney remake that deserves to be on the list. I do believe with what we've eliminated and what's left, what we could talk about, I believe there's one that we could bring up. And I thought I swear, I'm just like Hunter, thought you were going to bring the other one up. But I'm going to say no on Dumbo.
Billy, what would you have said about Dumbo?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as they are, because I also thought you were going to bring up a different Disney remake that when it we'll get to that, but Dumbo's like a meal that has like all these different ingredients that are like really good, but like something about it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Like it just didn't come all together like for me. And then also just like I love the original so much, so it was definitely like that was of all the live action remakes, because I'm not the biggest Disney guy. I love Dumbo, and so that one was already kind of like behind the eight ball anyway for me, but so it wouldn't have made my list.
But anyway, I don't know. Maybe Hunter will bring up the one that I should have brought.
Hopefully, this is the right one.
What is that? Jungle Book.
The 2016 live action remake. First off, directed by Jon Favreau. Fantastic, really directed. The cast includes Ben Kingsley, Idris Elba, Scarlett Johansson, just A-list actors on the voice cast. It was a really great movie too. The stories was really good. And of all the remakes, this is the one I believe was done correctly. It took what made the animated movie so great, updated it, and then added new stuff to it you didn't see before. So I'm going 2016's The Jungle Book.
Dan, what do you say about The Jungle Book?
Bill Murray, Christopher Walken and King Louie, Nyong'o. Of course, yes. Big yes for me. I love The Jungle Book. I love that version of The Jungle Book. So it's a big yes for me.
Billy, what do you say about the Jungle Book?
This was not the one that I thought we were talking about.
Wow.
Oh, really?
I'm not,
Hey, come
I'm
on.
not the biggest Disney guy, and also it's weird because this is like this is kind of like the one that started it all as far as like the live action remakes go. So I give it a little bit of credit for that because it kind of had to kind of like stand on its own.
No, Cinderella
sort of-
was 2015.
Oh,
I mean,
Cinderella.
I mean, if you want to argue semantics, 101 Dalmatians from the 90s
that
started
does
it
not
all.
count. That trash, that dumpster fire. When people talk about how bad the live action remakes are now, I'm like, go watch 2000 or 101 Dalmatians. Go watch. Glenn Close is fantastic. Unfortunately, she's in a different movie from everybody else.
Is.
But man, the Jungle Book, it's not on my list. It's not it. It just didn't hit it for me. Again, I'm not the biggest Disney guy though, so
Wow.
Yeah.
That's shocking. All right,
So-
I like the movie. It's not like
Come on.
not like that.
Come on, Malcolm. Come on, Malcolm.
So Hunter bringing up the Brian Michaels approach of going to grab random posters from around his room. You know, I really can't do a Christopher Walken impression, but yeah, I like the Jungle Book remake. I think it's good. I mean, I don't have a problem saying yes to it. I am going to say yes to it, but
All right,
it's around the middle of the road for me when it comes
Hey,
to
Malcolm.
live action remakes.
Malcolm, you know why? He wants to be like you.
Good. That's good.
Was that from the movie?
Yeah.
I didn't know you couldn't
King
sing.
Louis. It's Christopher Walken doing King Louis from Hunter.
Yeah, he is.
That was good. I like that, Hunter. Good job, Malcolm.
Thank you. Malcolm.
But then what's the next?
Let's see if Billy can vote yes on one here. We missed a horror movie, boys. And I'll tell you right now, it deserves to be on the list because it is a phenomenal remake. I mean, phenomenal. I don't know if you guys are a fan of David Cronenberg or not, or Jeff Goldblum, but they teamed up for a movie that was, oh God, it was one of the craziest, wildest horror movies I ever saw. And it was a remake called The Fly. I hope you guys vote for this because I think it deserves. It's clearly one of the best remakes in my opinion, and it's a great film. It really put Jeff Goldblum on the map, and David Cronenberg. Wow, what all the crazy movies he's done in his Videodrome and all these different kinds of movies he's done over the years. Scanners, and I think did he do Scanners and Videodrome? Hunter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Never mind. Just The Fly from 1986, Malcolm.
Billy, what do you say about The Fly? Of course, this is on my list. It's Goldblum. It's The Fly. It's Cronenberg. It's the most palatable Cronenberg movie. It's not if you're a Cronenberg fan, it's probably your least favorite Cronenberg movie. If you're not a Cronenberg fan, this is probably the movie that you can actually digest. Cronenberg in this movie, what he does so well in this movie is he takes things that we know and are familiar with and then like flips them on their head because of what's happening to Jeff Goldblum in the movie. One of my favorite scenes is the arm wrestling scene where he's wrestling this like behemoth of a man who's just way bigger than Jeff Goldblum, and Jeff Goldblum looks very sickly and ill, and Jeff Goldblum, spoiler alert, snaps his arm in half and like compound fractures his arm. It's a great movie. It's like the way he's falling apart, and it's so good. It's Cronenberg at his most palatable, but also I think his best. So
yeah, this is a case of I've seen the original. I haven't got around to watching the remake.
Oh wow.
But Hunter really sit on The Fly.
He's got a smile. He's got a smile on his face. Come on, Hunter.
I haven't seen it.
oh my gosh!
No,
Go watch The Fly.
You're the horror guru.
I know.
Oh man! Wow. Wow.
Billy, what's the next movie you're going to bring up?
How about I bring up a horror comedy that, again, when I was doing my research, did not realize was a remake. This is especially timely because they're talking about remaking this movie again, and the star of this movie is finally returning to Hollywood, and that's Little Shop of Horrors. Did not know that was a remake. I love that movie. That movie's so good.
Yeah.
What can I say? Little Shop of Horrors is classic. Again, did not know it was a remake, but
yeah, this is an absolute yes. I love Little Shop of Horrors. And Steve Martin as the dentist is just incredible with Jack Nicholson as the patient. But yeah, this is going to easily make my list. Hunter, what do you say about Little Shop of Horrors?
And you'll be a dentist. Of course, it's a yes for me. I love Little Shop of Horrors. Absolutely love that movie. I didn't realize it was a remake, but I'm glad it is because this is fantastic.
Dan, what would you have said?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't know it was a remake either. I saw it when I was probably 10, 11, 12 years old, and I love it. Because I'm a big fan of musicals, and there's talk about a remake. They're doing a remake of the Little Shop of Horrors.
yeah.
Rick Moranis is supposed to be coming back for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll have him pop into the remake of Little Shop of Horrors too. Who knows? I would have voted yes. Sure, I would have voted yes.
But
I got 3 left, guys.
But Brian has actually corrected me. Bill Murray was the patient, not Jack Nicholson.
We have 11 on the list right now.
Yep, I know.
Thought we had 9, 10.
No, 11.
11? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Thing, The Departed, Insomnia, True Grit, Ocean's 11, True Lies, Little Women, A Star is Born, Casino Royale, The Jungle Book, and Little Shop of Horrors.
Very diverse list here.
Right? This is crazy.
Would you say, Hunter?
I said it's a very diverse list we have.
Yeah, no Magnificent Seven, no 310 to Human, no Scarface. What the hell?
No Ocean's 11.
No, it's on there. It's on there. It's right there.
Oh, that's right. We put it on there. We put it on there. I forgot.
I changed my vote. Malcolm, let me change my vote.
I just had to search this because I knew there was something about Jack Nicholson and Little Shop of Horrors. Jack Nicholson was actually in the original 1960 Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
Wow. Malcolm's blending the two movies together.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I knew he was in a version of it. I just wasn't too sure which one he was in.
Right.
But anyway, now that that's out of the way, I'm going to bring up one which I'm not going to lie, I'm surprised hasn't been brought up yet. But this is from 95. It was directed by Michael Mann. And this is a remake of a TV pilot that he was going to do. But for those that have never listened to Top 10 show, won't understand this reference. But what I want to know is, have you seen Heat? I'm bringing up Heat. Heat is a remake of a TV pilot that he was.
This is one of those weird, because it's not a TV pilot, it's a TV movie. Michael Mann made it as a TV movie. It's
LA Takedown.
90 minutes. It's a remake, but it's weirdly not a remake because it's literally just the same thing that he just cast. They got the money from it. He made the TV movie to make this movie. I love Heat. I would love for Heat to be on this list. but it's not like a. It's is it a remake or is it not a remake? Because
I mean, I'll
movie.
throw it down to Hunter and Dan, see what they say, but otherwise I'll bring up something else.
Yeah,
Granted, I've never seen Heat, so
I honestly am with Billy Malcolm, and it's not because I wouldn't vote for Heat. I love Heat. I absolutely love Heat, but I just don't consider it a remake. And especially
no,
it's a remake of
no.
a movie. It's nah.
Once again, that's fine. It's another one that did come up on a few lists for me, so which is why I had it. Which is why I had it written down.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, just like the Planet of the Apes one, this is another one which does show up on lists, but may not. Okay,
There was like more separation between them, and like.
Yeah,
but he literally made it's called L.A. something or other, like
LA Shakedown.
L.A. Shakedown. He literally made that so he could make Heat, and it's the script is the same. Literally, the diner scene from Heat, the famous Pacino De Niro diner scene, it's the same scene in L.A. Shakedown with Michael Rooker and who knows who the other guy is, some TV actor.
But I'm going to go for the other one then, because those that don't know me, know I love my musicals. So I'm going to bring up another one. I'm going to bring up The Producers from 2005, because this is one of those ones in which it's a direct, essentially, it's a remake of the Gene Wilder movie, which was adapted to a Broadway play. And then, once again, if you don't count this, say so now. But otherwise,
no, I count it, Malcolm. It's just not a good movie. That's
but I mean, but this is one I love. I mean, I love this movie. You may not like it, but I love it. Hunter, what do you say about The Producers?
Hunter,
I've never seen it.
I don't like it. I don't like it, Malcolm, and it has nothing to do with you or anything like that. I just don't like it. I like the original better with Zero Mostel and Gene Wilder. I like that one much better, and so I'm going to say no because I just don't like the movie.
And Billy, what would you have said about The Producers?
Of the Gene Wilder musical remakes that I have seen, it is the superior of the two. But it is Matthew Broderick is like off the deep because he did the role on Broadway as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
And apparently he was fantastic on Broadway. I don't know what happened from Broadway to here, but like he I don't connect with him at all. Nathan Lane's fantastic, but Nathan Lane's always fantastic. But the movie's just not. You can tell it's a play, and like usually when you want an adaptation of a play, you don't want to be able to tell that it's a play anymore. And this one, you can tell it's a play. Like it feels like a play.
Yeah. I mean, this is one that I didn't mind and that. I mean, it's just like Cats. It's one of those ones that really did not work as a movie,
right?
I mean, the way they did it for the movie,
the Nickelback of movie or of musical. Like Cats is like the highest selling musical ever, and you can't find anyone who's a fan of it. So it's 1983. What's that?
I saw it on PBS in 1983. I loved Cats on PBS Broadway play. Then this Cats was like, you want to know what? I'm telling you, I had a 3-movie marathon that day. I had a trilogy of 3 movies. Let me tell you what I saw: Cats, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, and A Hidden Life from Terrence Malick. That was my day on Christmas. Really.
Merry Christmas to you.
What a crazy day that was with those 3. If you guys haven't seen A Hidden Life, I recommend it. But make sure you take an edible
before you went into that, because that might have made that all really good.
What'd you say, Bill? What'd you say?
I said, did you take an edible before you went into that triple feature? Because that might have made all of that really good.
A Hidden Life is like 3 hours long.
Oh, and it's Terrence Malick for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Shoot face.
Tell me about it.
It's like when I went to see Cats, so I did a double feature of that and Little Women. So,
you saw Cats first.
Good one out of there.
I did see Cats first, yeah.
Thank goodness. Man, that's a good palate cleanser for Cats. is Little Women.
Hunter, what do you got?
Yeah.
See, I want to go with one that I absolutely love, but I'm not sure if you guys have seen it.
We'll have to find out.
So it might not make the list, but you know what? Screw it. I'm a horror movie fan. You know, whatever people might say. I'm gonna go with the remake of Let the Right One In, called Let Me In, directed by Matt Reeves in 2010. It's a remake of the Swedish film. As I said, this movie is fantastic because it takes the traditional vampire story and turns it on its head. Instead of an adult vampire who doesn't age, it's a kid. It's a kid vampire who doesn't age. And dealing with that, dealing with making friends, finding love for the first time, and what becoming a vampire does to a child. And Chloe Grace Moretz plays this like fantastically. One thing that I love about this and the original is, again, it brings up the idea of we've seen the vampire as an adult, as fall in love again. But this is what would happen if a kid got bit. What would happen if a child, became a vampire, couldn't age, and found love, but had to let it go. That's a very good take on the vampire story and a very good twist. Matt Reeves does a fantastic job, so I'm going Let Me In.
Oh, Hunter.
I'm not gonna.
Go ahead, Malcolm. What were you gonna say?
I was about to say, I'm not gonna lie. At the first time I ever heard of the title "Let Me In," I thought it was a biopic of the Fiend. But Dan, what would you guys say about "Let Me In"?
I love the Fiend, by the way, Malcolm. Love Bray Wyatt. I love Let Me In, Hunter. I love Cody Smith-McPhee and Chloe Grace Moretz. But the thing is, I love the original better. I think the original is so much better, even though I do really like the Matt Reeves version. So I'm really torn.
The way I look at it, though, is both are fantastic if you watch them together. So it's not like this one is, sucks. The other one is great. They're both fantastic.
Well, the thing is, if the remake is better than the original, then I say I would want to put that on the list. But when the original is, in my opinion, better, and it didn't. To be honest, it's one of those cases where I know it doesn't need a remake. It didn't need a remake, but the remake ended up being good. So you're like, oh man, I'm so torn here, Hunter. All right, for your sake, Hunter, I'm going to say yes because I just like it so much. But I do like the original better.
Yeah.
Billy, what do you say about Let Me In?
So Let Me In as a remake this literally is a movie that should never have happened. Like it's about vampires, or actually this movie should never have been good. It's about vampires. We've seen vampires a million times. It's a small budget horror movie. Like nobody cared about this movie when it came out. But the thing that's so good about this movie is, Chloe Grace Moretz is fantastic in the role of the vampire. And the thing that it actually gives us something new in the vampire trope, in the caretaker role. The person who's there to take care of the vampire, when they can't go outside, and to get her food and bring food back to her so that she doesn't have to go out and hunt and do all these dangerous things. And Richard Jenkins is fantastic. I think it's Richard Jenkins who plays that role.
Yes, I believe so.
Fantastic. I mean, it's always fantastic, And the movie is so good. And then also it's like a heartwarming, coming of age, almost like love story kind of thing in the middle of this vampire movie. And then you're like, wait a minute, is Chloe Grace Moretz 1,000 years old? What is going? Is she 15? What's going on here? I love this movie. I haven't seen the original, so I would say, there's two movies that I have on my list that I really love, but I'll say yes to this movie for he finally gets a horror movie on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one that I would have said no to. I'm not a big fan of this one. I tried to watch this. I tried to watch the original. I just didn't get into either of them.
Wow.
But yeah,
So if I would have said no, Malcolm, you would have said no, and it would have been off the list. Wow.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just put out my 2 little honorable mentions that didn't make the list?
He'll get
Yeah.
to it. He'll get that out. Yeah, we all
Dredd,
honorable mentions.
like Dredd, the remake of Judge Dredd. That movie had no business being good. Nobody wanted that movie. That movie's fantastic. And also, the Thomas Crown Affair is super good.
Making
I don't know
a
if
remake of that again. They're making the 3rd remake of that.
Of course they are. Like they're remaking everything. They got all of these movies probably have remakes in the works right now somewhere.
If we didn't vote on Let Me In, I had one other horror movie that I was going to vote. I was going to try to get on. So that's interesting to see that Let Me In got in because I was going to go for a different horror movie.
What were you going to go for?
Invasion of the Body Snatchers from 1978.
I've never seen any of them.
Yeah.
First one's phenomenal. The second one's really, really good. Don't ever go see the Nicole Daniel Craig one. It's garbage. But yeah, I was going to do Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Would you guys have voted? Would you have voted that on Malcolm and Hunter?
I didn't see them. I didn't see any of them.
Oh, so that wouldn't have got on. So good thing we got Let Me In on.
Yeah.
But yeah, but we've got 12.
And then I have one more honorable mention, Malcolm.
Yeah, we'll get into on mentions in a bit.
Right now. I'm sorry.
It's
My
all,
bad. I with the honorable mention. Sorry.
it's all good. Just to recap what we've got on the list before we go into honorable mentions, we've got The Thing from 82, we've got The Departed, we've got Insomnia, we've got True Grit, we've got Ocean's 11, we've got True Lies, we've got Little Women, we've got Stars Born, we've got Casino Royale, we've got Jungle Book, Little Shop of Horrors, and Let Me In. And for honorable mentions, I'm not going to lie, I did have a few other Disney remakes on here just because I did enjoy a lot of them, but I did have 101 Dalmatians on mine.
What was the one that I missed, Billy?
Oh, I thought that Aladdin was going to be on the list. I love that remake. I thought that movie was going to be awful, and that movie had no business being good, and that movie was good.
Well, the end song from Naomi Scott almost ruins the movie for me. I could not sing that last song.
I mean, that was one that I was going to bring up at one stage. At first, all go. So Dan probably did the right thing by getting Let Me In. There was literally going to probably be my next one. I do enjoy the Beauty and the Beast remake. I think the Amityville Horror is good. Bedazzled was on my list. I really like the Carrie remake from 2013, also with Chloe Grace Moretz, funny enough.
Oh, that's come on, Malcolm.
City of Angels was on my list. I did actually like The Invasion, so
what? Are you kidding me?
No, War of the Worlds was there on mine. Murder on the Orient Express from 2017 is one that I was almost going to bring up.
Oh yeah.
And whether I didn't know was a remake until I looked it up was No Reservations. Hunter, any honorable mentions for you?
I had a few. Child's Play 2019. I think that movie, again, a movie that I didn't think would be that good, ended up taking the Chucky character, adding technology to it, and making it frightening with Mark Hamill as the voice. I loved it. Bram Stoker's Dracula, I just watched it. Crazy, insane, great performances. Red Dragon, remake of Manhunter, first Hannibal Lecter, Anthony Hopkins, fantastic. You guys might not agree with this one. I love the 2003 remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Jessica Biel. I think that one's just a fun remake. And then this one is just because I'm a wrestling fan. Walking Tall, 2004 with The Rock.
Huh.
I do like Walking Tall.
That's a fantastic, not a fantastic movie, but it's a fun action movie.
Mark Donica loves that movie.
But Dan, what honorable mentions did you have?
I only had one left after I mentioned Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and Billy said Dread. I actually had Dread on my list as well. I have one left. 1925, there was a movie called Ben-Hur, and they did a remake in 1950 something, 1960.
Oh, the Charleston Heston one is a remake? Wow.
Yep, the 1969 Ben-Hur is a remake of a 1925 Ben-Hur, which is a silent film. That was the only one I had left on my list, believe it or not.
Oh, come on, Dan. The 2017 one did get a mention?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't seen the 59 version of Ben-Hur, but I probably would have used that same argument used for Wizard of Oz against you, maybe. if the original was a silent movie.
Well, it's an actual movie. It's an actual movie.
Yeah, but so is the silent Wizard of Oz. But regardless, we could go on a debate about silent movies for ages, but I mean, anyway, we get to the fun part, which is ranking them. So we write down what we want on our board, whiteboards or a bit of paper or whatever we've got handy to write on.
I have my phone, so
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was way down on my list. Ben-Hur was. I mean, I never thought I would even get to it, to be honest. But I was getting close. I was only at two. I had Dread and I had Invasion of the Body Snatchers left before I would have gotten to Ben-Hur.
Yeah.
I'm still shocked that Scarface and 3:10 to Yuma and Magnificent Seven aren't on the list.
I mean, honestly, out of those ones, I think Scarface and Magnificent Seven are probably the ones that people are probably going to be shocked about.
3:10 to Yuma is really good.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't doubt you. I mean, I just haven't seen it yet. But
Hunter, you need to see The Fly.
yeah, I do.
Yeah. Comment below, everybody. What was the most egregious? I haven't seen it of the.
There's been a lot of them. Trust me.
They'll probably say Dawn of the Dead, right? That'll be my luck.
I mean,
That's egregious.
I mean, I think the most egregious I haven't seen is probably going to be Magnificent Seven. I'm not going to lie. I mean, with that being well known as it is, but I've got sort of my one written down already.
Yeah, I have mine right now.
I'm going to go first, give Billy a chance to write something down, but I've got Let Me In at 12. Hunter.
How dare you? Ocean's 11.
Dan.
I got a Little Shop of Horrors.
Billy.
I have insomnia.
Which means
The chat.
we go back to chat. So chat, we've got Let Me In, Insomnia, Little Shop of Horrors from 86, and the other one.
Ocean's 11.
Ocean's 11. What should be 12? So the first one I see in the chat. Otherwise, we go to the real.
How many people are in the chat, Malcolm?
Who said the Malcolm choice? Star Drew, the only one in the chat.
I thought Brian Michaels was in the chat.
Not Brian Michaels. It's Brian.
Star Drew, which one should be which is the worst of the?
I mean, everyone's voted.
Right.
So we've got
One
Ocean's
person-
11, Let Me In, Insomnia, and
Insomnia.
Little Shop of
Little
Horrors.
Shop of Horrors.
So we need one. Where's this my real? So I don't. Okay, Star Drew's voting with me, so Let Me In is going to be 12.
All right.
Damn it!
So that means I don't have to change mine.
Oh, that's true. All right.
This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life, guys. Tom Brady is going to be in a Tampa Bay Buccaneers uniform. I mean, I never thought that
Come
in
on.
my life.
Michael Jordan was in a Wizards uniform. We've been prepared for this.
You're right. No, you're right.
But anyway, I believe, Billy, you were staying with Insomnia.
I'm staying with Insomnia.
Dan, you were staying with Little Shop of Horrors.
Yep.
Hunter, you changed.
Ocean 11. Nope.
I went with Insomnia.
Yeah!
Both of mine.
Hunter's choices are going bye-bye.
Good one, too, Hunter.
Okay.
Malcolm's writing something down.
All right. Hunter.
You have to ask.
Ocean's 11?
Ocean's 11.
What? Little Shop of Horrors. I was
Billy.
the Jungle
Why
Book.
did this throw me off?
The Jungle Book.
1, 2, 3, 12, 11, 10.
All of mine are gone.
You can't blame me, Hunter.
Nope.
What do we got? I'm good with that. Yeah.
No, you got one left, Hunter.
Do I?
Yep.
Yep.
It happens. I might be jinxing you here.
Please don't.
Wait, what did he?
I'm not going to say. You don't know. You don't know.
All right.
I've got to go this. All right. We know what Dan and Hunter has. Billy, what do you have?
I went Little Shop of Horror.
Oh.
I also read Little Shop of Horrors.
Come on. How does a movie that got eliminated get this far down the list?
That's true. Oh, it's so good.
Hey, I mean, back in the days when I had a rule on here where where everyone had a chance to save a movie in there. There was an episode where we did superheroes, and Matt Kearns saved Daredevil, and Daredevil ended up at number 3 because people forgot he was on the list.
Woo.
You already know what I have. So
Yeah.
11.
Billy.
A Star is Born.
Malcolm?
As much as I love this movie, just because it is still fairly recent in these times, Little Women. But
So Ocean's 11.
Ocean's 11 is going to be 8.
finally.
You get to vote for something else, Hunter.
Yeah.
And I know that Star Drew in the chat's not going to be happy about that.
Star Trek knows what's up.
But anyway, I've got Little Women. Billy,
I've got A Star is Born.
Dan,
Star is Born.
Hunter.
Little Women.
So Star Drew, Little Woman, or Star is Born?
Yeah, tie.
We need you, Star Drew. We need you. You're our only hope. He's so mad that Ocean's 11 went on the list. He left.
Nobody's commented, Malcolm?
No, but I'm just getting it set up on the
We got
official.
2 people watching, so comment in the chat. Which is the
Yeah,
7th movie on this list? Ocean's 11 or A Star Is Born? We have a comment. A Star Is Born.
I mean, it happens a lot of times where we get people watching, but not a lot of people actually comment.
All right, so Star is Born got voted off. So that means we got to vote. I got to vote for something else.
I got to vote for something,
All
huh?
mine are gone now.
Hey, Hunter, I've been there before where they just vote all mine off. It happens sometimes.
Man, this is tough now.
Now, Malcolm gave me a clue on what we should vote next.
But yeah, I mean, provided Hunter hasn't changed, I've still got Little Women. Hunter's probably still got Little Women.
You guys,
Billy.
you misogynist bastard! No, I had Casino Royale.
Oh wait, man, not Casino Royale. Now that'll be
Little Women, a superior film to Casino Royale. Everyone, a superior film.
move. Can we? I got to do my own. I got to do this on my own. I'm like, move the thing down so I can see what's on left, and I got to do it on my own. All right, here we go.
I mean, I was about to recap that anyway. So we've got left The Thing, we've got The Departed, we've got True Grit, True Lies, and Casino Royale.
The top 5.
And Insomnia, right?
I've only seen like maybe
No,
one.
Insomnia was number 12.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay.
Insomnia was 11.
11.
Okay.
I mean, it's still in the
Yeah, it
bottom
was
2.
12, that's right.
I've seen 2 of our final 5. So,
Oh my god!
and
And
it's
Hunter
the
onto
same
the
True Lies.
remakes. Hunter doesn't watch remakes, but we brought him onto the remakes. So.
You better start watching The Fly. That's all I know, Arthur.
I mean, it's one of those ones that I mean, I don't think it's sad. I think there's just a lot out there you don't think of as remakes.
Hunter, have you seen any Cronenberg? Have you seen Scanners or Videodrome or?
No.
Oh god.
Oh man, as a horror fan, watch Cronenberg. He is a mind trippy, like.
All right. Watch him high. I got it.
But anyway, Dan, you still got Casino.
I have Little Women, so I voted for True Lies this time.
I voted for
Billy,
Casino Royale again.
Hunter.
Casino Royale.
Ooh.
And yeah, I've also got Casino Royale.
Oh wow. All right.
I think it's just because there was like is it a remake or not? But
well, I mean, it's not only that. I mean, I love Casino Royale, but I think it's not the best of the Daniel Craig Bonds.
Yeah, it's the second best behind Skyfall. Hot take, Billy. Hot take.
you guys are crazy. What's the
People
one with
tell
Dave Bautista for
people
like
tell
2
me that
minutes?
all the time.
What'd you say, Billy? What'd you say, Billy?
I said, what's the one with Dave Bautista for like 2 minutes? Is that Quantum of Solace?
Spectre.
No,
That
that's
part of the
Spectre,
movie is
that's
good.
right.
That part of Spectre is actually pretty good. That's the
It's
best.
the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
The 2 minutes Dave Bautista's in that movie is the best part of the movie.
Beginning, yeah.
But Billy, what do you have for 4?
So I was gonna go with one of the 2 True movies we have left, and I went with True Grit.
Dan.
True Lies.
Ooh.
Hunter.
True Lies.
Ooh.
True Lies.
Ah. So the final 3: Thing, Departed, and True Grit. Ooh, tough one.
It really is. But Billy, what do you have for 3?
True Grit.
Dan,
True Grit.
Hunter.
True Grit.
True Grit is going to be 3. I had The Departed.
Ooh.
All right, so we're voting on 1 now, right?
The winner.
Oh, writing the winner. That's okay. Oh man, this is like the Sophie's choice of this whole
This
thing.
one's easy for me because I've only seen one of these movies. So
He's young. Give him a break. He's young.
Um,
How old are you, Hunter?
huh?
How old are you?
About to be 22 next week.
Yeah, he's still young. He's got a lot of years left. He's going to be able to see all these movies by the time he's our age. Really.
Well, shoot, we're in quarantine. He's going to see all these by next week.
Yeah.
But
A great collection of movies started.
It's going to be like a new theme of Rank 'em. It's going to be like Hunter's homework. They're like crossing off the
So
list.
down for that.
of
We should
movies.
do an episode. What movies should Hunter see?
I don't know. Rankin sort of could be named Malcolm's homework half the time as well.
Yeah. I think it's everyone's
Hunter's
homework.
homework.
But Billy, what is your number 1?
It's The Departed. You know,
Dan,
The Thing.
Hunter,
The Thing, the only one I've seen.
wow, we got
the thing.
Yeah.
that was my number 2, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
It's a good list. I
First
like
movie
it.
we brought. Was that the first? No, I didn't go first. I went like third.
That was the first movie we got on the list, though, because
Yeah,
we
that's
first,
the first one you got on the list.
you went second.
Yeah.
First Wizard of Oz, then you went The Thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Then we went to
Um,
Party was third, so the second and third ended up.
Yeah.
It always happens like that, Billy.
Someone
Well,
needs
that's
to
kind
see.
of how it should be, because you should be putting out your best movies first to get them on the list.
Yeah.
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 Someone needs to send this out to Harloff going, The Thing is the number 1 remake. You have to watch it.
Watch it now, Harlow.
Oh, wow.
Um,
What the hell?
But now time to recap our top 12. At number 12, we've got Let Me In. At 11,
higher.
we got Insomnia. At 10, we got Jungle Book. At 9, we got Little Shop of Horrors from 86. At 8, we got Ocean's 11. At 7, we got A Star Is Born. At 6, we got Little Woman. At 5, we got Casino Royale. At 4, we got True Lies. At 3, we got True Grit. At 2, we got The Departed. And number 1 is The Thing from 82.
I love how True Lies and True Grit were like neck and neck to each other.
I'm pretty sure you guys all planned it. You talked about out of here. Like,
We did.
I think you got a good mix, though, as Hunter said earlier. I mean, we have musicals, we
Black
have
horror,
action,
people.
we have
This
a
is my
period
third
piece.
show. Is this
Yeah.
my third show in the last 3 months, Malcolm?
I think so.
This one and my Oscars Best Picture winners, I'm very proud of these lists. The sports list, I'm not proud of.
Star Drew said that 8, 5, and 4 are not good, Boo. He
Oh,
said
boy.
True Grit should be 5th. He thinks that it should be ahead of True Lies.
Yeah,
And
no,
I agree. I tried Star Drew. I tried to show the light to these of what the true movie is. It's True Lies, but they voted differently.
yeah. I mean, it like for me, it's one of those ones like I could have just as easily tied it because I would have gone True Grit for 3, but it's like because True Lies was the only one out of the top 4 that I hadn't seen. It's like I'm not going to vote for one that I haven't.
You seen True Lies, man.
I mean, it's like for me when it comes to movies I haven't seen, I won't bother trying to vote them on lower because it's like I haven't seen them. I can't say that they're bad movies.
We
Like
should do that.
if I have to, I will do it.
Malcolm, can we do that? Can we do an episode 12 movies Malcolm should see like tomorrow, and then like a month we'll do 12 movies Hunter should see like or whatever, like just for the fun of it. That would be fun, Malcolm. I think that would be fun. I think a lot of folks would love to be on.
I need you to make a list of all the movies you haven't seen ever in the history of cinema.
That list would be like 50 pages.
Now,
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead, Mike.
I mean, I might do a fun one like that. But I mean,
I mean, come on, Malcolm. No movie is coming out for like 12 months. You have to have some fun.
Well, I mean, that's why. I mean, if I run out of topics from the big pools I've got from things I've had on the poll before that haven't been voted on, then I might do it. But for now, like, there's like any movie, like basically any movie I say I haven't seen, quite often is on my list that is ones that I want to see anyway. It's just a case of just getting them, because I kind like I don't want to. I mean, I don't really want to pay for a VPN if I'm not going to use it a lot. To really,
you can get a free one. You don't have to have a. The pay ones are like for like identity protection. The free ones you can get a free one, download it, and you can that one will just allow you to make.
Yeah, I mean, no, I get that. I mean, it's one of those ones like when it comes to anything which is free, something like that, I'm very wary of them too. So it's just one of those ones. But anyway,
VPN discussion over.
But anyway, if you haven't voted already, vote on the poll I've got on there. At the moment, we've got a tie between Ed Harris movies and live action musicals. So vote, try and break the tie.
Okay, take 3 fans. I need you to go vote for anything but Ed Harris movies because Paul DeNuzzo is a terrible person and he loves Ed Harris movies. So go make that lose in the poll. He's awful.
Wow.
But anyway, Billy, where can people find you online?
I'm at Mr. Billy Belford, and I'm also occasionally at those weird call to action podcast episodes. So, but yeah, at Mr. Billy Belford on Twitter. Hit me up.
Dan, where can people find you online?
You can find me at Dan Skip Allen on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Pinterest. Also, if you want to read anything that I have written, I wrote for quite a while for cinesportstalk.com. That's cinesportstalk.com. I wrote about sports and movies. And I currently write for a website called Disappointment Media, DISIPPIONT media.com. And I'm going to be doing some anniversary reviews and some other movie reviews. I know it's coming up. Also, Malcolm's been on, Hunter's been on my show. It's called the Top 5 Weekly. I do every episode every week based on the movies that are coming out. And there's no movies coming out for a while, but I think I'm going to post the episodes anyway. So you get to see this week. It would have been indie horror movies, which Hunter was on. So you can go see that my episode of Top 5 Weekly with indie horror movies.
Movies are coming to video on demand, so there might be new movies coming out
already, though.
Oh, fair enough. Or there might be more coming out. No. New Mutants is going to be on video on demand. Let's be honest. That movie.
I mean, I hope it is. I want to see that.
I feel so bad for that movie.
I mean, it's one of those ones which is which it probably, because I mean it was announced today that Onward is going to video on demand, but then it's also going to Disney Plus on April the 3rd. So, which is, well, I mean it's one that is definitely one of them, but two, the fact it's coming to Disney Plus before it's actually even touching DVD is what I'm more surprised about.
Yeah, well, there's two things, Malcolm. Number one, they want to try to make as much money on the on-demand. Then number two is they think they might be able to bump up their Disney Plus subscriptions. They throw it to Disney Plus before Falcon and the Winter Soldier comes out in August, they think, oh wow, this might be their reason to jump it up to bump up their subscriptions.
I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if Falcon and the Winter Soldiers actually moved a little bit because just because the production's been halted, so it depends on sort of when they can actually get back to filming and how much they've actually filmed, whether they've got enough for the first few episodes. So,
Disney's the evil empire, but they are losing a boatload of money right now, so they need subscriptions. Did you guys hear that? There was a Wall Street Journal analyst who said that Apple should buy Disney stock wise, not the company itself, but
Apple's not going to buy a $400 billion company. They couldn't possibly afford to buy a $400 billion company.
They could buy the controlling stock in that company, though.
Yeah, they don't want a bunch of theme parks and crap.
But anyway, how do we can people find you online?
I have a new movie trivia show coming out called Movie Trivia Challenge. That's going to be a part of a brand new network I'm making called Nerd Entertainment Network. It's going to have both Combat Wrestling Trivia and the Movie Trivia Challenge, as well as 2 new live shows. One is going to be a afternoon movie discussion, live discussion show, and then one is going to be CWT Dark, talking about all wrestling all the time, all the breaking news, everything like that. So check that out. The first match for Movie Trivia Challenge is going to be Caleb Boatman taking on Caleb Coho.
Oh, God.
I don't support Caleb, so
so make sure
where can the folks find you?
Well, I mean, you can find me over at Take 3 Productions, hosting Take 3, hosting Rankum every week. You can also find me hosting Late Night with Take 3. It's usually this time on Fridays, but I may do one tomorrow. I may just have a week off. You can find me on the Call to Action channel in a Smo Bates. I was in this week, so you can find me over there. I bet I took on David B with some lovely people as judges, and you can find me all over the fan leagues pretty much, hosting Board and Random and all that. But until next time, just keep listing shit.
I love that ending. Keep listening.